Good afternoon, Friday afternoon, finished work and I've been quite busy in the garden at home, as you can see behind us. I'll show you them in a second. So I have been doing them, and I've also been loving to check the garlic. So let's have a look at these. Start off with the onions. So these are the quality onions that I've selected to put back for seed. I've got 16 in total. That should be more than enough seed. There is something I want to bring up about the seed and stuff that I've seen on social media, but I'll say that in a second. But like I say, I've chopped them all up so they're about an inch at the top. I need to chop this one actually because I forgot to do it, and this one, so I've got them two to do, but the rest of them are all done. I've watered from the bottom, and they'll just stay inside of here until they get so big, and then I can put them down in the allotment. So that's them done. Now, something that did quite upset us, not massively, but you know, it made us a bit angry, a bit upset the other day, was I put a picture of 7 of these on what I did the other day, and then somebody who I don't know, that's followers on the channel, only thing they put on as a comment was, any seeds? No. And any seeds isn't a sentence neither. These are for 2026 growing season. They'll not be ready for me to take until next year, and then I'll be able to sow them next year. The seeds that I've got for this year, I got off other sowers, other growers, by asking them in full sentences to their face, do you have any seeds available for me to either purchase or to be able to have? And I got some. I got some fantastic seed for myself this year. So just as a bit of friendly advice to anybody wanting seeds, don't just put on social media any seeds, full complete sentence, and use one manners as well, yeah? Enough of that anyways. Right, let's have a look at this garlic. Garlic I put into several sections just so I could get it in. I do need to pot it out, which I will do this weekend, because it is ready. I sowed these on the 20th of September, so they've been in nearly a month. And I've had the cover over the top, and as you can see, we're starting to grow here, which is great. Please excuse the noisy dog from the back. And I need to actually, look at the roots coming up the bottom of them. I need to empty the water out of this one. But as you can see, we've got some roots coming up the bottom, and they've got a good hold. I'm not going to pull them out. Tops are starting to rot off. I need to definitely get them out of there. Let's fill that water up somewhere else, put it in there. An absolute mess. Pull that back in. I watered these last night, and obviously I put too much into there and spoiled it. But yeah, that's some of the garlic. I'll just put that back over the top. The rest of the garlic is over here. So we've got, I'm not even bothered about that anymore. So I've got the biggest bulbs, biggest ones. Look at the root system on the bottom of there, fantastic. Same with these ones here. I was showing Rach, Jimmy and Eric and Jamie these last night. Look at the root system on them. They're ready to be planted out into the ground. I like sowing mine direct anyways, but I just needed to get these done before I left for Malvern. So that's the reason why they're in cell trays. You can't just sow them out directly. The roots come out the bottom there as well, as you can see. So they've got a good hold. So yeah, all my garlic's done. They've all rooted successfully, and they're ready to go into the allotment. Like I say, I get done at the weekend. And these garlic are going to be going next to where the lilies were. So the half lilies I took out of that lily bed, the garlic's going to be going into there. That is the plan with that. So I'll stick a bit of feed in, and then I've already dug it over. Go in, pop them in, a couple inches down. Forget about them until July. But yeah, that's that little task done. I'll show you what else I've been getting at the front garden there as well for future. It's to do with the mini mums, which I've got the main plant down here, which I took the cuttings from, which I've got the 4 in the front. But we'll have a quick look at the front garden, see how it's holding up anyways. So this is the current state of play in the front garden. Everything obviously starting to die back, but we've still got some flower coming through, some nice colour, sorry, even along the borders as well. Bits and pieces of colour. The lavender come back after a Chelsea chop. The chrysanthemums are starting to come through the buds, which is going to be lovely because they're going to come secondary, which is great. Then also on this side, the later sowing of begonias, still providing some lovely colour across there as well, all the way down there, all the way at the bottom. Need to turn that back on again. So yeah, these are all going to be looking lovely. I need to give these a feed. So get some lovely stuff. There's my big pumpkins. I've still got to carve them yet. And then over here is what I've been getting. So as you can see, got some fresh croissants, mini mums. take that, put that in a pot. That's what that one is. But I've got some fresh, different colour ones. They'll be potted up, and I'll start taking cuttings from them beginning of next year. So you've got still got lobelia coming through as well. I didn't realise I actually take cuttings from lobelia. This is the leek that I got given of Peter Holden. Obviously it's still growing through again. I've already taken the outer cover, skins off. That dried up. That's doing alright. It's going to go into the greenhouse. But as you can see, I chopped that flush with the top, and it's all this is good brand new growth in there. So that's fantastic. That's going to be for 2026, 27 as well for grass. I might put a couple of leeks in next year. Good morning, it is Saturday morning. Leslie's out doing her usual stuff, so I'm at home with the kids. And I thought I might as well get a head start here. And instead of planting my garlic that I got from Malvern out direct, I'm just going to make a start and get them started in here, because Leslie wants some to take to her garden, and I want to put some down to the garden as well. The plan's going to be, because I'm starting again with my garlic, I'm not going to use next year's garlic. So the garlic I'm going to sow today is going to be for stock only. And obviously Leslie's might be able to use for stock as well. But I want to get a good head start, because there was a few years where I just grew garlic and it was fantastic. And I had it pretty much in everything. It was amazing. But because the garlic started forming rust, I didn't want to cross-contaminate when I was growing the leeks back in the day. So that was my thought process with it. So the garlic that I got from the Isle of Wight died. So I've getting some fresh stuff, and I'll show you what I've got. Made a bit of a head start here already. I've already got the compost in the trays, and already got the water in from below here, so I've already got the water in the bottom. And the garlic that I've got two different varieties. We've got it's not Thermidor, it's Thermodromy. I've got a picture of it in any case, and I'll double check it before I start putting the labels on. I've also got this one, which is Sprint. Now, if I remember correctly, this one is a soft neck and this one is hard neck. And the difference between soft and hard neck is I think the soft neck grows in a warmer climate. You get smaller bulbs, but more bulbs on it. Whereas the hard neck, obviously you get a harder neck. And these are grown in colder climates, and you get larger cloves, but less of them. So that's what they are. The soft neck ones are good for braiding. The hard neck ones not so good for braiding, but you still can't do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take all of the cloves off, and I'm just going to plant them into each one like I did with these ones, cover them over and just leave them in here. And sowing the garlic is just as easy as peeling the outer layer off. You can see there we've got another few bulbs in there. I've actually got some on the inside as well. So all I'm doing is just snapping, tearing them away, separating them off, giving it outside a clean. And obviously this is the base where the roots will form, and this is the top. So you don't want to be planting it like that, lying with the top here going straight down. You want to be facing it like that, because the roots can go straight down. Now all I'm going to do is just push it lightly into the top. That's that done. That's that done. Just as easy as that. You can also, like I say, put these direct in the ground like this, about that far down, say with 4 to 6 inches. And that'll do the job, and you can just leave them and forget about them, and they will grow. Now these will end up creating roots, and then they will go dormant when the colder weather comes in. Just clear this off. A couple of little ones over there, just a baby. So there we go. I'll just put them little ones in there. See how many we've got here. There we go. It's a nice big one. So we'll go that into there. It'll be very good if I've got 6 in total. Oh, I've got 1 extra. That's fine though. We'll just put 2 in 1. For example, the 2 baby ones, 2 tiny little ones, we'll put in 1. Put 1 at one side and 1 at the other. Just to get the roots going. Basically I can separate them ones off when I'm sorted. So that's the Sprint. And the next one's called Thermodrome. So I just want to take out the skins off. See that? See what I mean by it's a larger clove than them ones. So just start think I paid about £6 per clove of this. I can't remember exactly how much I paid. I wasn't really paying attention. I just wanted some garlic and got it. Got it from Malvern. It's been dried out lovely. And as you can see, from one bulb, you get so many cloves, garlic. I'm hoping come next year we'll have plenty of the same. And then we can double up, or even triple up. And I can also get obviously the elephant garlic in. I should hopefully have a better year with elephant garlic, because I'll actually pay attention to it this year. And I haven't not grown it in pots, grown in the beds. I had a poor year, especially with the allium leaf miner, so I've got to be very careful with that. I end up having to net these over, stop the bugs from getting in. See if we've got enough here. Bit of POV, eh? Bit of POV. Thought I'd get me next stand out. One got same amount of that in. Oh, well, we've got two spare. That'll be a little rubbish plant for inside of here. But there we go. Garlic's all planted out. I'll just get a couple of covers for the top. Hey, look at that. Almost like you prepared it earlier. There's one, there's two. Don't really need it on, but I want to get them a good start. And there's the garlic planted for 2026. Morning, Sunday. It's quite cool this morning. It's getting very cold recently. What I'm going to do is something a little bit different today, because I want to get down here, get done, get sorted, do as much as I can and go away. So I'm just going to record, and I'll just do a little voiceover at the top. So first things first, look at this section. So I'll get that done now, and then I'll get the garlic out. First things first, you need to get rid of all of the weeds that's sitting on the top. I don't really want to be digging these in, because it's just going to be wanting to come back through the tops of the soil again. Then after I've taken the weeds off the top, it's time to give this little dig over. Now luckily enough, when I took the lilies out, I'd already given it a dig over, so it was nice and loose for the soil. Then just rake it level so everything's all done. Then what I'm doing this year is I'm going to be doing a lot of covering the ground so that I don't have to worry about the weeds. So this is something new I'm doing on here. So I've bought this. Actually bought it off Amazon. I do prefer the weed membrane that I get down the Lotman shop than this stuff, because it's got the squares and everything on to get everything nice and level and stuff. So I want to just cover in between the lilies here as well. And I used a butane torch just to burn the edges off. It's better than cutting because it doesn't fray the edges. And then on this bit here, again, just using the butane torch to be able to cut the length that I require, pegging them all down so it doesn't blow away. And that should keep in between the lilies there nice and weed free. Now, just putting the holes in. I've made more holes than I actually need here because I've got more garlic to go in. And then on here, what I'm doing is I'm busy planting out the garlic. I have currently got 4 more at home which I need to sort out. But I'm busy putting some bat guano and also some bloodfish and bone on each hole that I'll dig down into. I think I've got a few more spaces left, which I've got plenty. I've got 4 more garlic at home, and I've got plenty more to go with the thermodrone, not the thermodrone, the thermodrone. Next task is get rid of this big nettle bush that's actually growing along the floor here. So I just thought, now I'll just get everything shifted out of the way here, and I'll just get it done properly. So cut everything back, use the spade, pulled up all of the nettle roots, put some in the compost pile, put some in a load of water, because you can actually use the nettles for feed if you wanted to. If you can compost them down into the water, and you can use like a nettle tea sort of thing. But the roots ideally you just want to be leaving for the sun to be able to dry out so that they don't start growing again. There's no point in putting the nettle roots back into a compost bay or anything like that, because it'll just end up growing back again, and you don't want that. So yeah, just trying to get rid of all the rubbish that's accumulated, because a lot of these pots down the edge here have got actually flowers in them. Now onto the green manure. So I'm just using my Dutch hoe here and just loosening off the top soil. It's all been dug in previously, dug over. And I'm using some rye and vetch here. struggling to get in the bag because it's one of them stupid little string line things, so I end up having to get a knife and just cutting it open. So just generally broadcasting the rye and vetch over the top of here, and I did a good job with this last year. Used the rake to go over the top of the Dutch hole again. I've decided I'm going to do these little tubs at the back as well, where I'm going to put the potatoes next year. So we'll put a little bit of rye and vetch in there, but first things first, I need to clear out all of the stuff that's in there from last year, which was the onions. I did manage to save a couple of red onions, which I do have now drying in the polytunnel, but a lot of the stuff just went to seed and it was no good, so I put it on the compost bin. So with this again, just dig it over, and with this spade, I snapped it, which was not great. So I managed to get all that done. Bit of broadcast with a rye and vetch, and then it's time to move on to the bottom. And again, just rinse and repeat, going along the top. By doing this, I'm loosening off the soil and also getting rid of the top weeds that's starting to grow on the top. And then just again, general broadcast. And we'll end up doing a little bit of the gardener shuffle in a second, because I need to make sure, I'm going to do a little experiment sort of thing. I wanted to make sure that, just have a look to see which came up better. Either stamped down so it was in nice, or just left loose. And then important is to cover over for the birds, because the birds will eat all of these seeds, and then it'll be a waste of time putting it down. So again, with some scaffold netting, just covering it over, and then once it's done, once it starts coming through, I can then lift the scaffold netting up and still cover it up until it starts to get about a couple of inches tall. So again, I'm just using the butane torch here, and then just spreading it out. Fits my beds lovely. A couple of stakes in. Happy days. Everything is all covered nicely. Apologies for the full moon there. And I tell you what, these chrysanthemums at the front are looking fantastic. I can't wait for them to flower, just like the ones at home as well. I've got 4 that's ready to go. Right, that's me sorted for today. I've managed to get a couple of bits and pieces done. I'm taking the family to the farm where I'm going to drop some seeds off for them for next year for the giant pumpkins, and because I need 2 more little ones for little Sophia and Kyle, because I only got 2 this year. Obviously that one rotten that's down there. Now I did mention last time on last week's video I tried to save them pumpkin seeds, but I ended up cooking them instead. I've actually taken some more from the pumpkin that was down there because there was more seeds in it, and I'm going to take them home and just leave them dry naturally. But let's flick you around and show you what I've been up to today. So starting off down here, I've obviously these are my lilies which I've kept for half the bed. Probably end up taking these out next year and just using this as a garlic bed if it works fine. Top garlic, giant garlic, the stakes there, that's in there, all the empty spaces. I still got a lot more garlic to put in, so I'll probably just have to, I'm going to half of them with Leslie anyways, but I need to find some more space, and so I just put them down in the middle of here and then let the garlic grow in between. I don't know, I'll have to wait and see. But here, the rye and vetch is in for the green manure. That's done. That's done, covered over as well. Same with them beds there, they're covered over with the green manure. I'll just take this out of the way. And I've had a bit of a tidy up in that corner, getting rid of that big nettle bush and getting rid of all the weeds. So I've just got to relocate those weeds and nettles once I get sorted out. So they're all done. When I get back home, I've got to sort out these lilies that Elizabeth got me down in Morven. Looks like they're starting to rot actually, which is not fantastic, considering I've got these down in Morven. I'll not be impressed if they rot. Inside of here, I'm going to be taking these cucumbers. I'm going to chop them, take the bottom half, and then take them home and let them get the seeds out of them. That's going to be the plan with those. I do still have some tulips which I do need to plant out. Might take. I'm not going to leave them here. I'm going to plant them out in here. There's them pumpkin seeds there, just drying off. I'm trying to leave them there and let them dry. It should be fine. Nice draft coming through here. Yes, I've still got a fair bit of tidying up to do, but little enough. And I'm getting that sorted out. That's all done. That's all done. That's all done. Start from the top, make our way down. I will get there eventually. I've been asked in the past, can you eat the giant veg? Well, I've taken the ends off the cucumbers here, because in here is where the seeds are going to come from for the following future years, and this one here is the end. So can you eat them? No problem. Guess what? Tastes like cucumber. It's very, very watery. Right, this is going for This is going down to the compost heap now because I'm not going to be using these. But you can't eat giant veg. At the minute, I've only pretty much got 1 and a bit days spare from obviously work and the darker nights coming down. So I am trying to get as much done as I can in the little time that I've got. So time for the family time now. So see you up at the farm, see what's left. We're here. Massive pumpkin patch here. Obviously it's all dead. Got the kids and all that. They are playing taking photographs. We'll see if we can find if there's anything left because it is the last day and it's the last couple of hours. Oh, what you got there, Kyle?
Heavy.
That's not heavy. The one Dad picked up was heavy.
This one's really heavy.
That's really heavy. That's not heavy.
It is heavy.
Look at that.
Yeah,
This guy's just bigger than you.
It's pushing bigger.
Got loads and loads of pumpkins left.
You're in a bit.
Huge field. I've got this one using me ears as a handlebar. Pull on the right side one. Oh, there we go. They're finished. That's better. Troublemakers. On the tractor. Sophia, look. Are you on the tractor? Yeah, on the tractor, look. Yeah. Look good, Sophia. Pumpkins. Right, that's us back home, and the little pumpkins are with the other pumpkins now, and it's going to be fun to carve them next. As you can see, these are the 2 that we picked up the day from the field, and these are the 2 that I grew down the allotment. Now, I was speaking to Robin, who was down there. She's the daughter of the farmer, I believe, or the old person that owns the farm. And I give her all the pumpkin seeds that I had, because it turns out they did like 30,000 pumpkin seeds in that big field. Massive. So I just give her all of mine, all the ones that I had available, and they pop in all field pumpkins and stuff. And I'm going to be speaking to her on and off. I've sent all my bits and pieces, like the social media stuff, and obviously the Facebook page and everything like that as well. And she's asked us if I had any giant seeds to be able to sell in their farm shop as well. So we'll see how that turns out. She also mentioned there's a couple of polytunnels there as well I could possibly be able to use, but like I say, we'll see what happens. But there could be something on the forefront there going forward. But from me this week, that's me all done, sorted. The garlic's done, things are starting to be tidied up, pumpkins are at home. Lots and lots of things done this week, little and often. So thank everybody for watching, thanks for liking and subscribing, and I'm going for me dinner. See you later.